Audio test 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Audio test 1 2 3 1 2 3. Audio test. Audio test 1 2 3. Audio test 1 2 3.
I'm still picking them up off the ground, mate.
All done? Alrighty. Let's see how rapidly we can do this. You got a digi? Yeah. Oh.
Well, good evening and welcome to a cool and wet Kingston Heath Soccer Complex for Friday night NPLW football, the beginning of round 10 of action as Bentley Greens host Alamein in a game with significant ramifications at both ends of the NPLW ladder. The high-flying Alamein looking to continue their hot start to season 2025, taking on a Bentley Greens team who have struggled significantly over the last month or 6 weeks. But you get the sense that they're edging closer and closer to maybe starting to translate some of their performances into points on the board. And I'll certainly be hoping that that's the case tonight. So just a couple of moments away from kickoff. Our central referee, Daniel Papadakis, ready to allow Alamein to get the play started. And of course, Emma Runnels, the ever-present, leading the line. And we are underway at Kingston Heath. Bentley looking to break a run of 4 consecutive league losses. But it will not be straightforward as they take on this Alamein team. This is Emma Runnels with the first attack of the game. He's continuing on the right-hand side just for a moment through Paige Clemenson, but the offside flag brings it to an end. An Alamein team that's unchanged in its outfield. Unsurprisingly, coming off the back of that 3-1 win against Box Hill last week. There is, however, a change in goal. Kate Bean unavailable for selection in tonight's game, but Alamein And John Curios will be grateful to have a ready-made replacement in the wings. Olivia Cowan, who we've seen plenty of so far this season as well, back in the starting position for tonight. For Bentley, meanwhile, there's a couple of changes from the team that were narrowly beaten last time out against Burundara here at Kingston Heath, the 2-1 defeat on that night. But there's some good news in terms of the returnees for Bentley, and Dario Simonic, as Delaney Kenny is back in the midfield for tonight's game, having missed out last time out. And there's also a big chance for Giorgia Giuliani, who scored Bentley's goal last weekend, coming off the bench to do so. And she'll get her crack from the start this evening, as we see a dangerous moment at the back for the Greens as they try to clear the ball. Eventually, they do come away with it and will now make their first charge forward of the evening, led down that right-hand side. Ball played inboard towards Emily Keppins, closely marshalled by Jess Shilton. Now Janatsu Shidara looking to send the ball through to Zoe Houghton, who storms past her opponent Belinda Strochevsky. Houghton gets the shot away. It was on a tight angle, so it's a fairly comfortable first save of the evening for Taylor Murphy. But Houghton just showing the pace she possesses. Certainly will pose a bit of trouble for her opposition if they let her get in behind too often tonight. There's a couple of inclusions, though, for Bentley, as good as it will be to have Delaney Kenny back, and of course giving Giuliani the run does come at the expense of a couple of regular contributors this season. Not available tonight, Ash Lefebvre, as well as Annalia Kopoulos. Neither of those players in the matchday squad. So they'll have to make do without some of their regulars tonight, will the Bentley Greens. Also no Ellie Torre in the squad, although she's been less of a regular starting presence than the other two. This is Estelle Bugis for Alamein. Looks inboard for Dakota Tyson to play the crossfield ball. This is Tyson again. Looks out to the right-hand side where Clemenson is. It's well met, though, by Giuliani, who looks to be stepping into Ash Lefebvre's regular position at that left fullback role. This is Izzy Fernandez, who makes NPLW appearance 50 tonight. A young winger who can certainly cause plenty of headaches for a defence with her pace and intelligent runs. We saw her getting back there to support the defence as well in that last passage of play. Shilton plays it through to Runnels, who has it pinched from her, though, only as far as Bugis, despite Delaney Kenny's best efforts. This is Houghton. Well defended by Tolios. Now Sydney Allen for Bentley. The captain charging from the middle of the park. Sends it out towards Fernandez. Keppins is in the middle, but the offside flag means that now both teams have had one of their early attacks brought to a premature end by the assistant's flag. Our assistant referees tonight, Greg and Nathan Emsley. Assisting, of course, Daniel Papadakis, I should say, in the middle of the park, and Daniel Collins is our fourth official. Run out of defence, led by Reagan Bridges. Doesn't get too far as a combination of Dustin and Tyson win out. An opportunity perhaps falling the way of Savannah Anastasopoulos, but Bentley defence got back quickly. This is Bugis looking inboard, met by the feet of Stojcevski. And the leg just left in for a little bit too long there by Izzy Fernandez, and that prompts the referee's whistle, so there'll be the first set-piece opportunity of the night for Alamein. Alamein, who come into tonight's game having won 3 of their last 4. They've only lost 2 games all season, and that's to go with the 7 wins that they've accumulated across both league and cup. It's been a mighty impressive turnaround, led by new head coach John Kyrgios. Dustin looks to slide it through towards Clemenson. It's quickly met and corner conceded. Corner sent in by Dustin. You saw the run that was made by Runnels. We're just slightly closer to her. You could see it thundering into the back of the net with a powerful header. Emma Runnels, who scored 2 of Alamain's 3 goals last time out. She's in a hot run of form. It's taken her season tally to 5 this campaign, leading the goal scoring for Alamein. It's that call of a foul will provide some reprieve for Bentley. Safe to say that Alamein have been the prominent attacking threat so far in this game. Doing a good job to make life uncomfortable for their hosts in the opening minutes. Clemenson now hoping for Runnels, but the defenders were well positioned and numerous. Dustin and Runnels played out to Paige Clemenson. Plays it off her young opponent again, so a repeat as Neve Dustin heads over to deliver the in-swinging corner. It's the outswinging ball from Dustin. It does find a teammate's feet. Never looking particularly likely to challenge Taylor Murphy. So the Greens will happily take a goal kick to get play back underway. Mentioned the strong run of form that Alamein have been in coming into this game. For Bentley, it's 4 straight losses that they've suffered in NPLW, 5 if you include their cup exit at the hands of Bundoora United. Those results not really telling the tale of the last few weeks in terms of performances. They've had a couple of disappointing or frustrating losses when you consider how competitive they were in the game last week. Of course, the 2-1 defeat against Boroondara, despite being right in the mix up until the final 20 minutes where Boroondara scored their couple of goals. 3-2 loss to Essendon Royals, 4-3 against Preston Lions. No shortage of scoring power. The Bentley have demonstrated under Dario Simonic, which has kept the games with plenty of entertainment value as that shot is fired in from long range. Taylor Murphy never likely to be too concerned. But those results showing that Bentley are very much capable of mixing it with the better teams in this division. Alamein are certainly one of the better teams so far this season. Big opportunity for them in the next few weeks of football. Couple of games against On the next 3 games, they play 3 of the bottom 4 teams. So a real opportunity for a team who start this weekend in 3rd spot on the ladder to put some extra points on the board. And that starts here tonight at Kingston Heath. And with 11 minutes gone, they've been really the only attacking threat that we've seen. Albeit Bentley have done a decent job at keeping them at bay and not making it by any means straightforward. Stelbugis looks inboard to Shadara. Played up by Shilton, hoping for Houghton, but Stoichevsky wins out. Uses Fernandez. Looking inboard for Kenny. And now charging forward is Neve Dustin for Alamein. Looking to pick out Anastasopoulos in the box. Didn't quite make the contact that she was looking for. Might have heard in that last passage the screams of Dario Simovic, the Bentley head coach, for his team to drop back and get into their defensive shape once the ball had been given away. Because for all the goals that they've scored, they've leaked plenty as well. Hence their lack of points to show for their performances. Gugliani looks inboard to Stoichevsky. He switches out to the right-hand side where Tolios. Looking for Parker, who cops a shove in the back and a free kick as a result. So a rare opportunity going forward for Bentley. Ball sent in. It was always going to be an Alamein player who won the initial header. Fernandez played through by Kenny. Shifts it onto her right. It's well blocked by Estelle Bugis. Keppins and Dustin wrestle. Kenny just about came away with the ball, falls into the path of Allen. It's a clever reverse pass. Emily Keppins and Bentley rather have the lead. Well, it was dogged work in midfield by Delaney Kenny to win back the ball. And a wonderful reverse pass by Sydney Allen. And Keppins took her chance. An excellent finish to give Bentley a lead after having defended for much of the opening minutes of this game. And the Greens find themselves with something to hold on to. Their first clean look at goal. Bentley take their chance. Alamein will be feeling hard done by, having started this game, you'd imagine, much as John Kyrgios would have envisaged when he was preparing for this matchup. But now to find themselves a goal behind. They've got plenty of work to do if they are to continue picking up the points this evening. This is Clemenson. Tries herself from a long way out. And there was no deflection off a defender, so it'll be a Bentley goal kick. Well, a really nice moment that for Emily Keppins. Such a promising young attacker, of course. Piled in the goals a couple of seasons ago playing for the FV Academy team. Wasn't quite able to make things work at a struggling Brunswick Juve team last season. And now she's got her first goal in Bentley colours in NPLW football. No doubt that will inspire an extra level of belief in this Bentley team when results haven't been going your way, as they certainly haven't for the Greens the last 6 weeks. Those kinds of moments can provide the real boon that you're after. And they'll certainly believe that maybe tonight will be the night that their fortunes turn around. Keppins once again asked to chase, but Jess Shilton always getting there first. Delaney Kenny gets past one and another. Looks towards Allen, falls into the path of Keppins. This is Fernandez. Goes with the left-footed cross. It's a good one too. Very nearly Bentley's second of the night. Coco Parker arriving in the middle of the box. Made good contact with the header as well. Unable to direct it on target. There is a real energy of optimism around Kingston Heath. The home support have seen their team come agonisingly close the last couple of games at this venue. There's a long way to go yet in this one. Keppins through on goal once more. Gets the shot away, that one more comfortably dealt with by Olivia Cowan, who concedes the corner. You can see that the opening goal has energised the hosts. They've enjoyed their best period of the match in the minutes after that, after they took the lead. Ball to be sent in by Allen. Just about the middle of the area, but there's plenty of tall timber for Alamein to get it away. Allen might get another crack at delivering it into the penalty area. We'll have to settle for a throw. See Karina Tolios heading over to resume the play. Ends up with the cross. Shilton taking no chances, heading it clear and then thumping it away with her boot. Particularly impressive, that opening goal, breaching the Alamein defence, and it's the stinginess at the back that's really been the foundation for John Kyrgios's team up to this point in the season. Just the 10 goals conceded in their opening 9 games. Only Bentleigh have a better record. Right now, Alamein, they have to chase. Giuliani inboard to Fernandez, who just let the ball get away from her. Carlton using her pace down the right-hand side this time. The ball in is awkward to deal with, but Bridges is a high-quality defender. And now Tolios leads the charge for Bentley. Tries the 1-2 with Parker, forced into a retreat. The referee's whistle will make things a little bit more straightforward for the Greens. Might be able to see there's still a light drizzle on the pitch. It's been raining really on and off throughout the day in Melbourne's southeast. Right now, it's Bentley who are very much enjoying their time out on the pitch. This is, of course, one of 3 NPLW matches to take place tonight. Kicking off concurrently up at Genesis Steel Stadium is Preston taking on Brunswick Juventus. It's another case of a team in the upper part of the table taking on one of the more struggling outfits. Preston, who, mind you, haven't quite had the season that they would have envisaged when it began, whilst a little bit later on with the 8:30 kickoff out west is Spring Hills taking on Box Hill United. So 3 NPLW games to keep you entertained this evening. It's that ball inside. Well, it was a fairly open header for Emma Runnels, but wasn't able to manoeuvre her head and neck to get any meaningful contact towards goal. This is Tolios for Bentley. Ball up, met by Tyson. Headed on by Clemenson. And the possibility for Anastasopoulos. The last touch, though, deemed to have come off the Alamein attacker. So things going much more in Bentley's direction in the last 10 minutes than they did in the first 10 of the game. You can see as well the imposing defensive shape that Alamein have themselves in, just trying to gall Bentley into taking the goal kick short, and all of their numbers would quickly execute the press and try to win it back high up the pitch. And it's because of that that Taylor Murphy opts against taking any risks and sends it higher up the field. Anastasopoulos trying to steal in. Gave away a foul in the process. This is a fixture when you go back through the years at Bentley's and their former iteration of Bayside's record against Alamein. It's very much one-sided in favour of tonight's visitors. 21 games played all time, and 2/3 of those have gone the way of Alamein. Just 2 wins for Bentley. So it's a largely unfamiliar position in which they find themselves at the moment. If you look at the last 8 meetings between these teams, Alamein have won 6 of them with an aggregate score of 27 goals to 7. This very much tells you how these contests have generally panned out. But Bentley rather doing their best to buck that trend early in this game. Have to go back to September 2019 for the last time that Alamein were beaten by Bentley. This is Sydney Allen. Cross comes inside. Keppins was the target. It will eventually fall to the striker's feet. Got a half shot away as well. Not dealt with at the first attempted clearance. Eventually, Alamein get the ball clear. Right at the moment, Bentley are looking much more dangerous in their attacking third than Alamein. They certainly have their visitors somewhat rattled. That opening goal defying the plans that Alamein would have had coming into tonight's game. Giuliani will get play back underway with the throw. Sets a task for Fernandez. Burgess' header, though, will allow Bentley another crack higher up the pitch. This time it's taken short towards Keppins. Alamein get the ball clear effectively, and Caitlin Story tumbles into Emma Runnels, so it'll be an Alamein free kick. Story playing in that deeper midfield position tonight in the absence of Anna Leakopoulos. Very much a position she's accustomed to playing, though, Story. This is Sydney Allen. Uses Kenny. Kenny spreads it out to the right-hand side where Parker has a little bit of space. It's quickly closed down by Maddie Van Duren. And the end result is a Bentley corner. Allen once again going over to take it. In swinging ball over the head of Dustin. And a chance for Zoe Houghton to lead the Alamein counter-attack. Skills on display as she looks to race past Giuliani. Still Zoe Houghton has Clemenson in the box. It's well defended though. Georgia Giuliani does very well in what was an awkward position to find herself. Alamein looked to continue the attack, but Belinda Stojcevski there to send it clear. Shilton and Burgess at the back for Alamein. Anastasiopoulos unable to latch on to that loose ball. So as of yet, there hasn't really been a meaningful response from Alamein to that Bentley opener. Haven't been able to re-establish that control that they started the game with over half an hour gone. Bentley remain in the lead. This is Parker. Sending it up towards Allen. Skips past Tyson, who lost her footing. Now Keppins. Cross inside for Parker. Shidara does her defensive due diligence. Now Clemenson trying to lead the charge, met by Story. Once again, Dario Simonic quick to yell instructions at his team when the transition begins, not wanting his players to get too sucked in to the ball and obsessed with closing down the space, rather back into position and forcing Alamein to break them down, play their way through Bentley. No doubt Simonic recognising the serious threat that Alamein posed on the break. Speaking of which, here's Izzy Fernandez for Bentley. Cross in board, finds the feet of Kenny, pulls it just wide of the post. Another really good look at goal for Bentley. Wonderful play from Izzy Fernandez down the left flank. And Kenny, it was a decent attempt as well. Narrowly pulling it wide. Well, with the way things have gone, Alamein will probably be glad the scoreline is still just the one goal that Bentley have scored. This game's still very much in the balance. They won't want to be going into halftime more than one goal behind, as much as that's looking like a very real possibility with the way things are playing out at the minute. Bridges stepping out of defence. This is Houghton. Gets the cross in with her right boot. Stojcevski was there. A follow-up from Anastasopoulos, met by Caitlin Story. So we see another of the Alamein corner routines being put in action. Crowding around Taylor Murphy, making life very uncomfortable for the goalkeeper. It's around where the ball is sent as well. It skims off the top of the head of Emma Runnels. Now a chance for Bentley to spring forward. It's a really important intervention from Jess Shilton, though. Haven't yet mentioned the point of how many of the Bentley lineup, of course, come into tonight's game having crossed over from Alamein. Taylor Murphy, the goalkeeper, of course. Sydney Allen, a leading figure for Alamein for many years. Ashel isn't in the team tonight, but she as well making the move down south. Shouldn't forget Caitlin Story either, as that ball inside. Well, that time Runnels wasn't able to get there first. Allen picks out Fernandez, who begins her sprint down the left wing. Zoe Houghton, the equal and opposite speedster, doing her work, tracking back defensively and really ends the attack before it began. Runnels for Alamein. Showing her skills to get past her former teammate, Caitlin Story. This is Sydney Allen. Brought down by Dustin. And that's a fairly straightforward decision for our central referee to make. So into the final 9 minutes of the first half, regulation. Reagan Bridges sends it long inside the penalty area. The defensive header comes from Emma Runnels, and the follow-up from Allen is well wide of the target. Well, if you'd offered Dario Simonic and this Bentley team a 1-0 half-time lead before the game, you'd think they'd surely take it gratefully. Just with the way that the game's played out and the chances that they've had, Bentley, they'll maybe feel that 1-0 doesn't adequately reflect the performance they put out in this first 45. Alamein, though, looking to change that narrative as Emma Runnels. Well, the two central defenders doing a really effective, cohesive job to shut down the leading player for Alamein. Now Parker. Into Allen. Tolios' sliding ball through is a good one, and there's a fairly ambitious attempt fired in goal from Delaney Kenny. Had to be something pretty special to find the back of the net from there. Once more, Alamein charge forward, cross inside. The follow-up attempt from Paige Clemenson got right underneath the ball, though, and sends it well out, well wide of the goal. I think it might be a throw-in to come in. Yes, it is. So not Paige Clemenson's best effort that we'll probably see tonight, or indeed have seen throughout this season. It's not a bad result for Alamein as they can win the ball back in this really dangerous part of the pitch. This is Bugis. Runnels. Cross inside. Back out to Emma Runnels. Now Anastasopoulos goes to ground. There's a risky charge in from Giuliani, but referee well positioned and very happy for play to continue. This is Parker. Hoping for the underlapping run from Tolios. Didn't quite work out as Manny Van Duren looks to lead the reverse charge forward. Now it's Clemenson. Some really dogged defending from Bentley. Making this attempt to get back into the game for Alamein very difficult. Estelle Bugis. Well won again by Reagan Bridges. Parker. Cuts in field. Has Keppins. Keppins did enough to keep the ball. Looking inward towards Kenny, and tangle of legs prompts the referee's whistle. Emma Runnels again getting back and supporting the defence. Dangerous giveaway to Caitlin Story. Story tries herself. Another one of those attempts that would have taken an effort from the very top draw. Story scuffing her shot, really. She attempted to get that elevation and maybe look towards one of the top corners. I can tell you that Bentley have not led a game at halftime yet this season. They're just a couple minutes away from doing that here tonight. It would be a just reward for a really impressive showing up to this point. They'd love it even more if they could double their advantage. Fernandez thought about pulling the trigger with the cross. Instead, goes the more conservative approach towards Story. Story and Allen one back. And now Dustin can charge forward for Alamein. Meets a brick wall in the shape of Belinda Stojcevski. Keppins again the target. Shilton well positioned. Now Shadara hoping for Runnels, but Bridges stepping out of the defensive line and goes from a long way out. It's right down the throat of Cowan. Just had the goalkeeper nervous for a moment. Allen and Fernandez combine once more. And it's back at the feet of the Bentley captain. So looking as if we'll head into 1 minute of first half stoppage time. Time perhaps for one more good look at goal for either team. The flick on header is into the path of Runnels. The desperate defending continues though for Bentley. Stojcevski sends it as far as Bugis. Bugis running into Gugliani, and the decision is a Bentley throw. That may be enough to seal the home team's passage to the halftime break with their lead intact. Throw in sent in by Shilton, met by the head of Story. And now Kenny towards Parker. Time for one more Bentley move forward. Story used her body cleverly, but well met by Dakota Tyson in the middle of the park. Anastasopoulos. Up towards Houghton. It's a nice return pass as well. Into the path of Dustin. Dustin goes herself. And the last shot on goal of the half is narrowly wide of the frame of the goal. But Bentley are the team who will head into the break 1-0 up. For the first time this season, it's the Greens who take a lead into the sheds. It's hard to argue they don't deserve it. Emily Keppins, the scorer of the goal, as they've absorbed the Alamein pressure and sprung forward, created a couple of really high-quality chances, but Alamein far from out of this game and certainly enjoying some spells where they were the better team. We'll have to wait and see how the game plays out for the remainder. Be sure to join us again in around about 15 minutes of time for the second half of action. But at the break, Well, welcome back to Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. Bentley Greens with a surprise lead against Alamein at the break. 1-0 the scoreline, thanks to Emily Keppin's goal. And Bentley looking to snap a run of 4 straight league defeats tonight. And they're in a decent position to do so in what would be a seismic upset against the red-hot Alamein, who themselves are looking to continue their charge towards really the top of the NPLW ladder. But as things stand, it's Bentley who will be taking home the points. Still a long time, though, to go to determine the result in this one. Early bit of possession for the Greens, as they made that initial foray forward. Tolios looking inboard towards Allen. Cut out initially by Dustin. Alamein with their first spell with the ball in this second half. Did start the first half really excellently, the visitors. Had the game well and truly going in the direction that they wanted it, as Zoe Houghton is flagged for offside. But it looked as if it was going to be one-way traffic and largely two script based on how these teams' respective seasons have gone. But Bentley really turned that whole first half around with the opening goal for Emily Keppins. And from there, it was a much more even contest. Bentley creating the better of the chances too. Just the one goal, though, to show for their efforts. So Alamein right in the mix still in this game. Run here from Estelle Burgess down the right-hand side. Does the quick exchange with Clemenson, but not able to keep the ball in play. The rain looks to have passed from that first half, so maybe slightly more pleasant conditions in which to play for everyone out there on the pitch. This is Delaney Kenny, who played an integral role in that opening goal alongside Sydney Allen, who got the assist. Well won back by Clemenson. Has Runnels, and now an opportunity for a long-range shot from Anastasopoulos. Rolls comfortably into the path of Taylor Murphy. who looks to restart the Bentley surge through Candelas. That's a nice turn, or Tolios, I should say. That's a nice move from Parker. Still Coco Parker. Cross inside. Very nearly turned home by Keppins. And once again, it's Bentley posing the major attacking threats. It was a wonderful run from Coco Parker. Just not able to get the contact she needed to direct it towards goal. It's largely been those counter-attacking transitional moments where Bentley have thrived in this game so far. Both Parker and Izzy Fernandez doing their work. This is a chance, though, for Houghton and Runnels to combine as the clearing pass from Reagan Bridges cannons into her teammate, Karina Tolios, who shrugs it off. Doesn't look too discomforted by it. And Duran's attempted a cross into Coco Parker. Just a little bit of uncertainty here as to whether a throw-in or corner would be awarded. It's a throw-in that will be taken by Maddie Van Duren. And the fullback looks towards the box. Will fall right back to Van Duren. It's a good cross as well. Dustin's header. Continues the ball in the direction from whence, which it was heading from the boot of Van Duren. Not able to get enough contact, Dustin, to head it goalwards. Another chance for the cross inside, and this time it'll be an Alamein corner. Seen some fairly intricate corner routines from Alamein so far in this game. The runs come from the edge of the area. Runnels gets ahead on it. And last touch coming off a Bentley player, so they'll get a chance to rinse and repeat, Alamein. And looking as if it's a similar plan in terms of the routine of the players in the box. Emma Runnels making a roundabout run. She's making herself difficult to track. She's the player who got a skimming header on it. The chance is still alive for Clemenson. Bentley numbers converge. And now Stojcevski for the Greens. Keppins uses Parker. And the ball comes through. It's got plenty of power on it. Will hold up and won't go out of play. Keppins sticking a toe in there. And the result is a Bentley corner. Our view just slightly obstructed by the home team's dugout, and you can see the confusion for Alamein, who certainly feel as if that wasn't the correct call. Jess Shilton making her case, but Allen will move on over to send the ball into the box. It's a low cross as well. Stojcevski was arriving at the near post. And instead it's Alamein carrying it the other way. Story used her strength to win it back from Houghton, but Bujus makes the numbers game pay and draws the foul. Uses Chinatsu Shidara for Alamein. Uses Van Duren. Tell you that at halftime in the other game tonight between Preston Lions and Brunswick Juventus, as that ball into the area is met by Tolios. We'll hold that thought as Parker looks to launch the counter. Van Duren doing her best to continue the attack for Alamein. Ball looked as if it may have gone out of play, but instead we will continue. Shidara. Her touch finds the feet of Parker. It's a sliding challenge as well from Coco Parker. Dustin. Anastasopoulos. Met by Stojcevski. And now Fernandez for Bentley. Wasn't able to pick out Keppins. Shidara. And eventually the game will settle as Alamein pass it around the back. But at half-time between Preston and Brunswick Juve, it's been a dominant showing from Dan Foden's team. They're up 3-0 at the break there, Preston Lions. A little bit of concern for Manny Van Duren, who just was grabbing the knee and went to ground following that last challenge. Bentley will continue playing. Fernandez sends it into the sky, and it's a comfortable take for Cowan. That will allow the play to stop. It was a fairly innocuous incident for Manny Van Duren, but in a meaningful amount of discomfort just at the minute. Will now limp towards the touchline, and having tried to walk it off, it's not looking too good for Manny Van Duren. Well, she says she's good and back on her feet, looking to run it off. The pain perhaps subsiding a little bit. So just with the high knees, trying to run out any of the pain that she might still be feeling. Just back to that Preston game, those 3 points for the Lions, if they are able to see out the second half, would see them back inside the top 6 this evening. Just the 4 points as well behind Alamein. Of course, when you're near the top of the league, it's very easy for your position or any lead that you've worked out to be eaten away from up by other teams. So the pressure is on Alamein to turn this game around. That result, though, not bad news for Bentley. It means that, as things stand, Bentley jumping up into 9th position ahead of both Brunswick Juve and Spring Hills. Spring Hills to play later tonight. Bentley, though, will certainly be looking for a second goal before they start to think about wrapping up the 3 points. Not too many teams have gotten the better of Alamein so far this season. Ball inside, met by Tyson. Now Booges looking to send it up towards Runnels. Reagan Bridges has been doing that all night, and for the second time she has a ping from a long way out. That one was skidding fairly low, but Olivia Cowan well positioned to gobble it up. Dustin's ball long over the top, hoping to pick out Houghton. Tolios taking no chances as she sends it out for a throw. Shadara cutting out the pass from Story. Now Anastasopoulos. Plays the ball into the penalty area, but never likely that runners would be able to latch onto that one. This is Dustin arriving at the edge of the area, puts it inside. Runnels trying to wrong foot the goalkeeper, but had gone a little bit too early. So even if it had ended up in the back of the net, it wouldn't have counted with the offside flag raised. Clean sheet tonight for Bentley would really do wonders for them, not just wrapping up the 3 points, be just a second clean sheet of the season. The last one coming the last time the Bentley won a game here against Brunswick Juventus, almost 2 months ago now. Alamein continue to probe. That ball in is a good one for Houghton. Nearly fell into her path. Tolios doing just enough to get it behind for a corner. And as we head towards the hour mark, Alamein will have another opportunity from a dead ball situation. John Kyrgios as well, preparing a couple of substitutions in the near future. As we get to the hour mark, you wouldn't be surprised if Bentley made one of their own. That ball in to the near post. Tyson back into Dustin, whose lofted ball into the area is well taken by Murphy. Bentley defence holds up again. There'll be at least a couple of changes coming up for Alamein, possibly 3 to come, as John Kyrgios makes his move to try get his team back into the game. Allen for Bentley. Important for the Greens that they spend enough time in this half of the pitch, even as they try to see out the remainder of the contest with their lead intact. Can't just have your defence under an endless barrage of pressure, or at least it's not the most advisable approach. And here is Parker looking to do some of that work, relieving the pressure on the Bentley backline and maybe doubling the Bentley advantage. Parker's ball into the area, gets past Keppins. Kenny tries her luck, and it's cleared away by Burgess. And with that ball going out of play, looks as if we'll take the opportunity for a triple substitution for Alamein. So it's the end of the evening for Maddie Van Duren. She's replaced by Harriet Laurie. Roisin Murphy, another one of the players getting ready to come on, I believe in place of Paige Clemenson. So a swap at fullback with Laurie coming on, and a swap on the wing with Roisin Murphy, the former Burundara player, given her run. And the final substitution waiting to take place is Priya Archdeacon coming into the game, and that substitution will occur as well. Didn't get the substitutions board for who's come off, but I believe it's Savannah Anastasopoulos who's been replaced. So Archdeacon, Murphy and Harriet Laurie into the game, and Bentley will themselves get ready to make a triple substitution at the next break in play. Here is the substitute Laurie playing it up towards Murphy. Oisin Murphy providing a new challenge for Tolios to contend with. Eventually got the cross inside, but was offside for the return ball. And with that, Bentley will now make their move. And a couple of familiar substitutions to come with Georgia Candelas and Daniela DePetta brought into the game. So it's the end of the evening for Coco Parker, Emily Keppens as well. And looks to be Izzy Fernandez. So a complete reshuffle of the front line. Candelas in, DePetta in. And the big opportunity comes for number 41, Sara Garcia Montoya, getting her crack off the bench. So a big opportunity for a trio of younger players to try and make their contributions felt, with their team still in the lead with around about half an hour of playing time still to come. This is Murphy, met by Tolios. Ball cleared up. And continuing the attack was Kenny. Now Allen trying to steal in. Awkward to deal with that one for Tyson. And the end result is an Alamein throw. So a real reshuffle in this game. Both teams making those three changes. So we'll see who adapts best. The change from Dario Simonic, you sense very much with the intention of snagging a second goal. It'll make this scenario a lot more comfortable for Bentley if they are able to double their current advantage. Flick on from Kenny, only as far as Shidara. Now Bridges sends it to her opposite centre-back in Janatsu Shidara. Now Murphy. Met by Tolios, who's defended really well this evening. Dealing with some tricky attacking players, and she's often won out in those one-on-one duels. That ball cross field finds Archdeacon. Now Dustin sending it through on the right-hand side for Bugis, who's well defended. But Alamein will get another crack from a set piece. Certainly do have attacking threat from the dead ball scenario, Alamein. Haven't been able to make it work as of yet tonight. That one finds the head of Ruddles. It was about as clear a look as they've got, Alamein. But Runnels unable to send it either side of Murphy. So Bentley again escaped with their clean sheet intact, but that was a positive move for the visitors. Runnels getting up and heading it on target. Candelas intercepting for Bentley after the attempted combo between Laurie and Murphy. DePetta crunching in on Shilton, who won it back, the Kiwi defender. Now Dustin hoping for Runnels. Tolius sends it up towards Kenny. Dustin charging forward, cleared to Allen. Hasn't maybe been as influential as we often see her, Sydney Allen, but that one key moment, which at the moment is separating the teams, that clever ball to send through Emily Keppins. It's the only goal of the match, and as things stand, it's giving Bentley 3 much needed points. Houghton trying her best to skip past a couple of Bentley opponents. And she looks to have drawn a foul in the process. So once more we prepare for an Alamein set piece routine. This one from a long way out into the box. Headed out into the path of Murphy. Shifts it onto her right before using her left to get it to Runnels. And a little toe poke from Tolios sends it out for a throw. Laurie runs into Stoichevsky to go to Tyson, met by Allen. They really have defended so well all night, Bentley, and as a team, you really sense that they're throwing everything at the Alamein attack, trying their very best to keep their opposition at bay. Laurie for Alamein. Out to Murphy. Machine Murphy skips past Tolios. Left-footed cross. Beats just about everyone. Gugliani wasn't able to get it away, but the follow-up shot is straight into the gloves of Murphy. And Bentley will be happy to see that scenario play out for each of the remaining 18 minutes of regulation time plus stoppages. Alamein, for all their possession and territory, the high-quality chance hasn't been especially common. This is a chance for Candelas. Wasn't able to keep the ball despite getting past Laurie. Shilton to Burgess. It's a risky pass in towards Shadara, but well executed. This game tonight ending a run of 3 out of 4 games played here at Kingston Heath for Bentley. They won't be back here for a number of weeks. In fact, their next 4 games all taking place away from home. And looking to give the home support a happy send-off until their next game, which isn't until July when they'll be back here on a Friday night to take on Box Hill. They have had a fixture which has allowed for plenty of home games in the first part of the season, Bentley. They don't have the points tally yet to reflect that, but they can at least do a little bit of repair work if they're able to see out the remaining minutes of this one. Kenny couldn't get past Shilton. Offside again, though. Those 4 away games for Bentley to come. Next week they head to the home of the Matildas to take on FV Academy. This would be a really great result to head into that contest with. Another an eminently winnable contest against an Academy team who themselves only have the 1 win this season. Shadara sending the ball over the top to Laurie. Again, the Bentley defence is resistant. Clever touch from Candelas, and now Story. There was space on the left-hand side, which Bentley were trying to make use of, but couldn't get there in time. Murphy. Overlapping run comes from Laurie. Murphy goes herself. And Tolios concedes the corner. After their trip to FE Academy next week, Bentley, it's away games against South Melbourne and Heidelberg for ending their run at CB Smith against Brunswick UVA. So a couple of really tough away games sandwiched between maybe the 2 most winnable that they'll face this season. So a big month upcoming for Bentley. Can they first see out the remainder of this contest? Corner sent in again. It's a strong claim though from Taylor Murphy. Alamein, on the other hand, we mentioned earlier, are themselves taking on a couple more teams nearer the bottom of the table in the next few weeks. They're back home at Dorothy Labour West next time out. That's next weekend when they'll host Spring Hills. And then the game after that is also at home against FV Academy. So hosting 2 of the bottom teams in the next few weeks, Alamein. Mind you, before that, they're back in Nike Cup action in midweek, just in a few days' time. Tuesday night, they'll head out to Keilor Park to take on Calder United. Of course, the team relegated from the top flight last season, Calder, so Alamein hoping to continue their run in that competition. But with that break and play, we'll see the next Bentley substitution coming in. And it's a big opportunity for Megan Elliott to see out the remainder of this game. She will take the place of Delaney Kenny. Dario Simovic very much happy, well, somewhat having his hand forced, but certainly embracing the chance to give some of the younger players in the Bentley squad an opportunity in a game which certainly still has plenty riding on it and is far from decided. The fresh legs and energy Simovic will hope will be enough to get his team over the line. Here is the first touch of the ball for Elliott. And a number of Alamein opponents to work her way through. Now Laurie up towards Murphy. Tyson retreats to Shadara. And that was clever and composed from Janatsu Shidara. Sydney Allen closing down the space, but Shidara well aware of where her opponent was positioned. Alamein continue to probe. Ball through for Burgess. Didn't get far, but enough to win a throw. Alamein themselves readying a change as John Kyrgios hunts for a way back into this game. Ball sent inside, and Taylor Murphy happy to see it out of play for a goal kick. It'll be the twin sister of Harriet, Matilda Laurie, the next player to be introduced. She'll take the place of the captain, Estelle Burgess. And looks as if the instruction, just trying to interpret the hand signals between the players, is for Alamein to revert to a back three for the remainder of this game, as they throw all their attacking bodies that they can towards this hunt for an equalising goal. We move into the final 10 minutes of regulation. Ball over the top for Runnels. Strongly challenged, but foul given away by Strachevsky in the process. Can Alamein make one of these dead ball scenarios pay? They had just about their best attempt with their last effort, the Sydney Allen clear, or Sydney Allen, Emma Runnels clear header rather. It's once again Runnels causing all sorts of difficulty with her runs inside the box. It's her who's the target once more. The follow-up shot from Jess Shilton never looked especially comfortable, and it goes well wide of the post. At this point, Bentley, you get the sense, pretty content to sit well back for when Alamein have possession. They do have the fresh legs off the bench who can spring forward if the opportunity arises, but won't really be looking to force the issue too much, Bentley. Dustin goes to ground, no foul though. And the Greens can now carry it forward. That pass cut out by Shilton. Allen will get another crack at it. Dakota Tyson runs into a couple of green shirts. Elliott not able to keep the ball in play. Ball almost falling into the path of Murphy. Instead, Bentley once again happy to get the ball away. Candelas. Well managed by Harriet Laurie. Shidara looks inboard towards Shilton. Looks as if the final 10 minutes of the game will very much reflect the first 10 minutes of the game when it was all Alamein with the possession and pinning Bentley back in their own half. This time, though, with an added layer of desperation. Once more, the Bentley defence wins. Harriet Laurie composed under the Candelas pressure. Dustin chases. Keeps the ball in play. Skips past one. Still Dustin. And who else but Karina Tolios there to concede the corner and just bring a stop to the attack. She comes over the grandstands. The nerves and the tension just builds with each opportunity that Alamein create. This one's a low flat delivery. Tolios will send it behind for a repeat. Ball inside, headed way at the near post. Dustin puts it back into the mixer. Runnels with the header. Murphy comes out to claim. It's been an impressive showing in goal for Taylor Murphy. She's had plenty of work to do, but as of yet has stood up to every task put before her. That clearing ball not dealt with initially by Harriet Laurie. Chance for Archdeacon. Slides it down the right-hand side. Houghton couldn't get past Gugliani, and it's a Bentley goal kick to come. Calls from the Bentley dugout, just keeping their team in the loop with how long's left to play. 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Dario Simonic still barking at his team. Keep trying to keep the energy up. Keep the discipline as well, defensively. Cowan coming off her line to contribute to the attack. It goes all the way through to Bridges. This is Dustin. Dustin from a long way out. Maybe a little bit of frustration. They've made it so hard, Bentley, for Alamein to get close to the goal. Mentioned those clear-cut, high-quality opportunities. They've been few and far between for the visitors tonight. As things stand, that Emily Kepin's goal will be the decisive one. Runnels hoping to change that. Met by Stojcevski. Wins the foul as well. The two central defenders from Bentley tonight have just been sensational, keeping their shape and stepping out of the defensive line when necessary. It's another well-won foul. And this will allow Bentley to just get the ball as high up the pitch as possible, you'd think. Bridges goes all the way into the penalty area and into the gloves of Cowan. Final 2 minutes of regulation. Roisin Murphy for Alamein. Charging down the left wing. Skipping past Tolios. Tolios didn't let her get away. Alamein with their final roll of the dice. It's Maddie Cook, the final substitution, taking what looks to be the place of Jess Shilton. Defender is just dropped to her haunches, having come off the pitch. She's back on her feet now. It's been a difficult physical night for both teams really, but especially Alamein. Shilton limping towards the bench, so we certainly hope that's not an injury that will keep her out of any game time. A chance for Maddie Cook, one of the players who actually moved in the opposite direction in the off-season to many of the players on the pitch, joining Alamein from Bentley. And she's got a few minutes to make a major impact against her former side. DePetter's header finds its way to Allen.
Welcome to a double header of Kingston.
Ball through. Met and defended by Archdeacon, but only able to concede the throw.
And then kicking off at 8:30 in NPL Division BPL 1, round 16, Bentley Greens versus Melbourne City.
Elliott unable to get through as Archdeacon carries it the other way. 4 minutes of stoppage time. 4 minutes for Alamein to rescue something from this game. And 4 minutes for Bentley to pick up their first win in almost 2 months. Be a first win for Bentley against Alamein in almost 6 years. Very much going against the record book. If they were able to see out the rest of this contest, Bentley, not just in terms of the ladder and how these teams have fared so far this season. Candela sends it away. Allen's header will be picked up by Tyson. Tyson launches it forward. Met by Giuliani, who's done an excellent job being given the opportunity from the start. She scored the goal last week for Bentley. It was, well, ended up being nothing more than a consolation, but her defensive effort tonight looks as if it may well have contributed to what will be a big, big win for Bentley. Stojcevski sends it away. Shadara just keeping the ball constantly in motion, trying to get Alamein back at the other end of the pitch. It's Archdeacon to send it forward. Dustin unable to collect the ball. That one in between Shadara and Laurie, awkward to deal with. Now Elliott for Bentley. Sending it up towards Candelis. Candelis met by Cowan. The goalkeeper did well. And keeps the door ever so slightly ajar for Alamein. Shadara hoofs it upfield, met by Stojcevski. Sliding challenge from Story. Murphy with her best effort to keep the ball in play, unsuccessful. And Bentley will have a throw. They're close now. Story wins it back for the Greens. Unable to retain possession. Referee has a look at the watch. Still time for Alamein. Flick on header for Runnels. That one came off Murphy. And Bentley are seeing this out like consummate professionals. Allen for Bentley. Has a crowd of Alamein players to get through. Ball up towards Runnels. There is Bridges as she's been so often, and Bentley Greens have their win. It had been coming with the performances over the last few weeks, but for the first time in almost 2 months, it's Bentley on the winners list. Emily Keppen's first half goal proves decisive. They defended valiantly throughout the rest of the contest and deserved the win as well. It's a big upset to kick off round 10 in NPLW. Alamein flying high this season, suffering a surprise defeat at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. They'll look to rebound in the next couple of weeks, but for Bentley, what a night it is. They'll jump up the NPLW ladder and maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to really kickstart their season as we head into the final few months of the campaign, or at least the second half of them. But that's all the time that we have from Kingston Heath Soccer Complex. A big win for Bentley to begin the round. Full-time score, Bentley Greens 1, Alamein 0.